Hi everyone. In this video, I'm going to explain and demonstrate the difference between a relative cell reference and an absolute cell reference. I've opened up the Learning Files workbook and I'm on the Basic Formulas worksheet. Now we've already used this worksheet when we built basic formulas and learned about the AutoSum functions. We're going to use it now again as I explain relative cell references. So to start, I'm going to build a formula in cell C5 that will add cells A5 and B5. So I'm going to hit equals, click on A5, hit plus, click on B5, and hit enter. And now I'm going to copy that formula from cell C5 through cell C14. When I copied that formula down, it determined the pattern that was used in the starting cell, cell C5. If you look in the formula bar, you can see that that formula is equals A5 plus B5. So the next one is equals A6 plus B6. And the next one equals A7 plus B7. So it detected a pattern and it copied it through the range that I specified. That's a relative cell reference. And that's the default cell reference when copying formulas. Now I'm going to navigate to the Spring Sale worksheet. First, let's take a minute and understand this worksheet. So it's a spring sale where they're going to offer 25% off of these items. So column A, I've got my items. Column B, I've got their regular price. And in column C, I'm going to have to calculate what 25% off of each of these regular prices would be. And then in column D, I'm going to have to build a formula that's going to subtract the discount amount from the regular price. So I'm going to start building this formula the normal way that we've been building formulas. So I'm going to hit equals, click on B3, and then I'm going to multiply by C1 to find out what 25% off $80 is. And it says it's $20. Okay, now if I copy that formula down like we have been, it's using a relative cell reference. So if I look at the formula for cell C4, which gave me an error, it says the formula is B4 times C2. Well, that's not right because that's multiplying 75 times this cell with a text entry. The next one's not right either because that's multiplying B5 times C3, which is this amount. I need this formula to point to C1 each time it's copied. So here's how you do it. I'm going to delete all these formulas and I'm going to start again. Now this process is called an absolute cell reference. The difference is that when the formula is copied, it's always going to point to the cell that I specify. Here's how you do it. Build the formula the same way, equals B3 times C1. And then I can hit my F4 key to turn this into an absolute reference, or I can put my mouse pointer in front of the column letter and put a dollar sign, and in front of the column, the row number, and put a dollar sign, and then enter my formula. Now in C3, the answer looks the same, but you'll notice in the formula bar, the indicator that I've turned this C1 into a cell reference, into an absolute reference. Now, if I copy that formula down, it works now. Okay, if I look at the formula in C4, it's multiplying B4 times C1. And the next one's multiplying B5 times C1. So it's always pointing back to that specific cell. That's an absolute cell reference. Now to build my sale price, again, I'm going to use a relative cell reference because I want this pattern to be copied. So I'm going to go equals B3 minus C3 and hit enter. And I'm using a relative cell reference because I want this pattern copied throughout my range. Okay, so hopefully that helped you to understand the difference between an absolute cell reference and a relative cell reference.